So what other places do you kind of want to fight back against technology sort of ruling everything?
Well, there are very, very clear studies that show that we've had a massive surge in anxiety and depression among teenage girls in particular that is completely consistent with when they got smartphones and started using various social media apps. And the engineers at those social media companies say, again, flat out, we have designed your smartphone to become a very powerful slot machine and dopamine delivery system.
It's an addictive machine.
Yeah, because their financial incentives are like, hey, the more I can get you to engage, the more advertising money I can squeeze out of you. And do I care one iota if I end up inducing depression among tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of young Americans? Well, there's no money in not depressing you, but there is money in getting you to stare at this thing. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to have a department of the attention economy that's run by a design ethicist named Tristan Harris, whom I'm friends with, and say, look, we got to clean up the slot machines that are hypnotizing and depressing our young people.
How do we do that?
Well, first, I become president. Thank you all. Thank you, voters.
Yep. Congratulations. There you go. Andrew Yang, 2020. Go check it out.
And then I say, hey, guys, your financial incentives clearly drive you to extreme behaviors. And if you were generous, you'd say it's not your fault. You're just captive to the almighty dollar. So congratulations, we're going to free you from the almighty dollar. We're going to bring Tristan in and say, hey, guys, now you have some other incentives, which is not to depress the heck out of tons of Americans. And that's going to be your new mission aside from maximizing your profits. And if you ask a public company like Snap or Facebook right now to adopt this behavior, they literally cannot, because it would be illegal for them to not illegal, but it would be against good corporate governance to not maximize their shareholder value. The only way they
Wall
can
Street, they got to do the numbers.
Yes, you could legitimately fire a board of directors being like, hey, you guys didn't maximize shareholder value. You cared too much about the kids.
It sounds crazy, but real.
But that's our system. Our system right now is designed to worship the almighty dollar.
So what would they do, though? Take me through what we would do, how those things would change potentially so people are less likely to just be obsessed with their phone all the time.
And the great thing is Tristan's actually a guy who sat there and was helping design this stuff in the first place. So he would say, okay, right now, you are saying if the person has engaged with your app for this amount of time, the next time they do, they need a dopamine hit. And say, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change the guidelines on the timing of the reward mechanisms you have. Or it could even be that a message pops up and says, hey, you've been staring at this phone or this app for 3 hours. You should find a human being or go outside.
Go get friends. Phone shuts off.
Right.
Go get friends. Because we are having massive widespread effects on our youth culture. And it's showing up when you get to college campuses. There are record levels of anxiety, depression, and even suicidal tendencies that people have said they've never seen before.